Most people love music. Some people don't like music, but majority of us love music. We can relate to it. Music's so relatable. It's incredible. It's a beautiful thing. Depending on what point in your life you're at, if you're down, if you're happy, there's always a song that can match any situation. I'm sure there is. Music. Who's your favourite artist, would you say? If you could go and see it, actually you're going to see a gig next week, who is that going to be, that one gig that you will go to want to see?
Maybe that.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be Queen.
Queen, well, what a choice. That is a great choice. See Queen live. Anyone else? Who would you see? Joe?
I'll see Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie, live. Next week? Go backstage, meet them afterwards, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Amazing. Nice. Some great bands. We love them. We idolise them. We buy posters of them. We buy CDs. Josiah, I see your hand dying to cut here. Like this.
Owl City.
Owl City. Amazing. Perfect. We've got so many great bands out there that we can relate to. So yeah, we buy their CDs. We buy their posters. We just end up admiring the artists because they just write such beautiful music, or crazy music, or loud music, or music that just gets us pumped up. And yeah, we admire them, and then this can sort of then go on to things such as we go on to, I don't know, social media. Then you've got Instagram. We get millions of pictures of our favourite artists, or just millions of pictures of people in LA on the beach, or whatever really, I don't know. So we press that little magnifying glass on Instagram and it comes up with this absolute random stuff, which you question sometimes, how real is that? I say LA as an example, but that's usually where you get craziness, whether it's sort of models or whether it's just, I don't know, lifestyle vloggers. Same on Facebook as well, and go on there, and we see things every day that our lives are meant to be like. How is it meant to be like that? I don't know. But sometimes this can make us feel inadequate ourselves. Sometimes that can make us feel that we're not doing a lot of stuff. Our lives are really boring. Everyone's life is boring compared to Instagram life. But what I'm trying to say is that it can affect us, who we are. Like, personally, I've gone through depression. I'm not sure if that was necessarily because of social media, but I know how it feels to be down, how it feels to not be good enough, to start being paranoid and conscious of your appearance, of what we own, how much we have, all that sort of thing. It's fueled by seeing other people living this crazy life. And then again, going back to music, how helpful is it when you're down? Again, not everyone's the same, everyone deals with it in their own way, but personally, sometimes switching on a song can just feel like this breath of fresh air, a lovely, builds you back up. Or even a movie. You might have a favourite movie you like to put on and watch the actors, and they're inspiring, they're a big inspiration, boost you back up. That's great. And we don't only admire sort of celebrities and things, and people also admire, for example, politicians. Being a voting day today, I'll bring that up. We had local elections today, so everyone's going out voting for the local councillors, whether it's Conservatives, Labour, whoever it is. People love Conservatives, people love Labour, Jeremy Corbyn, Theresa May. There's fans of both, for different reasons. And they are, I suppose, they are in charge of all of us. They're in charge of the laws, they're in charge of the police, they're in charge of basically every education systems, all sorts of things. They have a say in all sorts. They're very powerful people on earth. And we know what they look like. We have their faces on different things, whether it's a coin on the back of a coin, or whether it's on the front page of the newspaper, Boris Johnson every day, or social media. So I ask you, we know what they look like. If anyone hazard a guess as to what you think God might look like, and there are some usual ideas behind it, but it can be anything. Has anyone got an idea? Alex?
Big bushy.
What colour? Bushy beard.
I want to say white. But
White.
I want to imagine him with a big pink beard.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's been one of these gone very quickly.
There are those images of God with a big white beard or even a staff. He starts to become this wizard, majestic character out there. Anyone else have any thoughts?
A bit like Odin from Thor.
Ah.
Okay. I say it because I haven't seen it. I don't know.
Watch it, it's excellent.
Okay. Thank you. But yeah, people have loads of movies that put that idea in your mind. Maybe Morgan Freeman's.
Yeah.
Why Steve Jobs, I don't know. But apart from Bruce Almighty. So we have ideas that have been put into our minds because we've seen them usually in places. You see whether memes and you see different things on social media of what God's like. You see cartoons here, there and everywhere. It's probably shown up in The Simpsons at some point.
Yeah.
And now this little passage I'm going to read now from the Bible is from a book of Matthew, Matthew 22:15. And if we quickly think back to my last talk, I'll just quickly remind that I spoke about those that didn't necessarily really like Jesus. There were those that didn't like him because Jesus was doing these miracles, he was healing people, he was raising people from the dead. And these powerful leaders known as Pharisees, particularly of the Jewish religion at the time, they couldn't compare to that. They couldn't heal people and raise people, and Jesus was not really any money, or particularly, I wouldn't say that he particularly say he had a house or something, but he was getting these thousands of people to follow him, literally everywhere. And this was a concern to powerful people, this was a concern to Theresa May, Jeremy Corbyn, because there's this guy that's just walking around and everyone's following him. But why? Because of what he was saying and because of what he was doing. He was performing miracles, he was talking of a higher power than them, and that was, in this case, God. Now, what I'm about to read is the Pharisees, so some of the political and religious leaders at the time, trying to trap Jesus, trying to get him basically dead. They wanted to get rid of him. They wanted to crucify him. They wanted to kill him because he was just causing a complete nuisance to them, not in general. But the Jews couldn't kill him themselves. They couldn't crucify him. They didn't have the right at the time to do that. The Romans were the only people that could do that. So, let's be cunning here. How are we going to get the Romans to dislike Jesus enough to kill him? Let's trap him in some words. Let's talk about tax, which the Romans love. They love taxing people. Let's try, to be honest, even in today's age, you get probably most jail time for tax evasion and all that sort of thing. It's a big thing because it involves money. So, what can we do? Let's talk about tax and see if Jesus can say something, a phrase, what we can put in the headline newspapers about him saying that tax is rubbish, or I won't pay it, or the other way around, which I'll explain in a moment. So, then the Pharisees, the leaders, went out and laid plans to trap Jesus in his words. They sent plans to trap him. They sent their disciples to him along with the Herodians, which were just those that followed Herod in the time. Teacher, they said, we know that you are a man of integrity. We don't really like you, but we're going to praise you and try and make you, we're trying to flatter you at this time. Man of integrity, and that you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. which is the most important thing. You aren't swayed by others because you pay no attention to who they are. So they're sort of flattering Jesus here. Tell us then, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay a poll tax? Poll tax in the day and age was to certain people. Funnily enough, not Romans, but to everyone, to other people. So what is your opinion? Is it right to start drilling halfway through? We don't know. I'll start talking again. But tell us then, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay the poll tax to Caesar or not? But Jesus, knowing that they were trying to trap him, said, "You hypocrites, why are you trying to trap me? Show me the coin used for paying the tax." They brought to him a denarius, a coin that looked very much like this. This is a replica of a Roman coin, so it would have been about that size. How it cut off was drawn, but with the face of Caesar on the back. Caesar, Roman leader, Roman emperor, on the back of the coin. Show me the coin used for paying tax. They brought him a denarius and asked him, whose image is on this? And whose inscription? Caesar's, they replied. Then he said to them, so give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. When they heard this, they were amazed, so they left him and went away. So if Jesus had said, yeah, pay it, pay the tax to Caesar, they would have probably said, oh, Jesus does obviously idolise and does like and does agree with Caesar and think that he is an almighty power, and therefore sort of suggesting that he's more powerful and important than God. So he would have been wrong on that way, and if he'd have said no, don't pay it, he'd have been accused of sort of tax evasion and encouraged people not to pay the Roman tax, and therefore he would have probably been crucified. He eventually was, but Jesus was too far ahead in So what does this mean? Give to God what is God's. What is God's? What is His? When Jesus says, so give back to God what is God's. And really, bluntly, the answer is, we are God's. We are God's creation. And that's quite reassuring, because we often, when we look at these things, or feel down or feel not worthy sometimes, it's quite reassuring to know that really you're the son or the daughter, and really the child of the creator of everything. If you were here for my talk probably a few months back now, where we had all the stars on the back and we had the little dot that was Earth, and I said that God owned all of it rather than that, not just Earth itself, which is obviously an incredible, amazing thing to own and create everything that we know, live and breathe, but everything else that we don't even know as well. Infinite space. That He created you individually. So we are children of the most powerful. I actually have here my representation of what I think God looks like. This is Christ, this beautiful painting. So we had the big long beard, we had Morgan Freeman and other movie characters. But this is what I think God looks like. This is what I think God would look like if we met Him. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created. God created us in his image, so therefore we look like him and he looks like us. Obviously we don't know exactly what he looks like because his probably of a realm so vast and so big, yet we are so close to him always. Him sending Jesus down to us was him reaching his hand down from wherever he is everywhere, but him reaching his hand down to us to say, I'm here, you can hold my hand, I can hold your hand, wherever you are in life, however you feel, isolated, surrounded with friends, are we there? He's always there to turn to. And that's really reassuring to know. One of my friends in the US recently said, who I was on Young Life Camp out with, that they just feel so, I suppose, translating it, almost, what's the word, invincible. And there's no real reason to be fear, or be embarrassed, or to be anxious. Because you have the creator of all this on your side. He's always there. Even if you haven't discovered him yet yourselves, he's there waiting, should you wish to. And from experience, and I'm sure all the leaders can also say this, but so I came up through Young Life and went on three Young Life camps, crazy times, so good, highly recommend it. That when you go searching for him, he is waiting there, always, with open arms, with an outstretched hand, to welcome back what is his. So, first of all, if you want to deny it, it's really cool later. But also, I just encourage you to this week. If there's a moment you're alone at any point, just think about the feeling and the sensation of maybe not being alone on the grand scale of things. Maybe on earth, walking down the path or going home or brushing your teeth, but God's with you. Should you need to overcome anything, just find it. Just even find out what he